Hello, I am your old friend, Lunge the Dinosaur. I know it's been a while since you've heard from the Lunge Party, and I am honored to be here to meet with you today. I'd like to talk to you about what I believe is the most dire, urgent, and most imperative challenge before life, all life, mind you, on this planet. And I would like to offer my assistance as a dinosaur to help you to gain some perspective on your human purpose in the evolving evolution of the cosmos. As a dinosaur, I have, I think, a very unique perspective on the evolution of the cosmos. After all, I've been alive now for millions, hundreds of millions of years. I've seen my race face a drastic extinction, and I fear that I'm witnessing yet another extinction of the human race. I admire humans, as you can see. I've evolved over the millions of years and changed myself into a human-like creature, as you can see. I have gone native, you might speak. And as many of you know, I ran for president in 2012 on the Let Us Not Go Extinct platform. I went to many events, held many speeches to express my concern for the human race and the future of all life on Earth. Today, I'd like to help you, perhaps, to gain some perspective on your present predicament and the dire necessity of addressing the obsolete and unevolved institutions and social rituals which have led to the near extinction and the possibility of a future for life on Earth. I stand for all life, mind you, but I especially appreciate and am delighted by human beings, and I hate to see them perish and pass from this earth. And I fear that your foolishness, violence, lust, greed, and ignorance will eventually lead to your extinction unless you come to realize the true purpose of your life at this time during this incredible modern technological expansion of consciousness. Consider, if you will, that we live in an expanding cosmos. It is vast beyond the conception of all the history and culture of but a few wise ancient cultures who could conceive of the cosmos. The Hindu Vedas, written 10,000 years ago or older, speak of a cosmos of billions upon billions of worlds and world systems. But it wasn't until the scientific era that we were able to use telescopes to begin to understand the vast nature of the cosmos spinning around us at such velocities, and began to understand that we live in a space-time fabric We've even begun to realize the holographic nature of our experience. But we have yet to understand the true purpose of this technological expansion of our consciousness. And I, with my larger perspective of my dinosaur experience, would like to make you aware of my theories on this matter. And it has to start at the root cause of our inability thus far to evolve the social institutions and rituals which would honor the earth and nature and all life and cause peace and love and fellowship and a common humanity to sprout so that we could manage and mimic nature and her processes and still achieve our technological world through sustainable and renewable processes and symbiotic processes that foster and nurture nature and life instead of destroying it with incredibly ridiculous, toxic, radioactive waste and a consumer lifestyle that just cannot be contained and sustained with such a vast number of souls incarnating at this time on Mother Earth. We have to change, but first we must dig down to the deep roots of our dilemma. Consider the scientific cosmology of the universe. It begins with the Big Bang. What if, in a timeless state of consciousness, we all exist as that tiny singularity of the pre-Big Bang, when all the universe that we know exists is packed into that tiny bubble of singularity, and in that oneness our consciousness existed with all the universe in a timeless state. In order to appreciate that primal unity, it was necessary for our consciousness to evolve. We could experience the unity, but we could not appreciate it unless we expanded. And in an explosion, our consciousness, inspired by the thought of appreciating the unity, expanded out into the vast cosmos. After millions and millions of years of the impeccable power of the creative force to foster, nurture, and progress life, we began to create civilizations. And they rose and fell many times until we developed this present technological wonder after 10,000 years of slavery and war. Now we have come to a juncture where we understand through our telescopes and our technology the vast nature of the cosmos. We are stunned by our realization of that great unity, of that great cosmic galactic web of which we are such an infinitesimal part. And yet we know that we were once part of that primal unity of the pre-Big Bang universe. And we are still, even in the vast separation of the expanding universe, growing ever and ever farther apart, into more individuation, into more singularity, into the opposite of that primal unity, so that we can now appreciate the oneness of the universe. That is the goal of our present humanity. That is also the answer to our present urgent dilemma. We are truly one, even in our most separate state. And that we have, as a species, as a human species, arrived at a cosmic awareness that we are one, from the tiniest subatomic particle to the galactic web, to the multiverse of every probable and possible universe that could possibly exist, existing in an infinity of universes, of Big Bangs, and all that even shrinking down into a great cosmic unity, where all our various selves throughout all time and space exist as a primal unity. That is enlightenment. When you realize that the purpose of human life is to become so separate as a mortal creature living almost 100 years, if you're lucky, on this vast dust speck spinning so wildly around this tiny little flicker in the vast cosmic reaches of hundreds of thousands of light years across time and space, to conceive of this cosmic incredible infinity and the infinities within infinity, is to become cosmically aware of our interconnectedness with all life. If we can then transfer this evolved enlightenment to the war and slavery, blood-soaked past of our history, we can save the future and progress beyond the bloody mechanized wars and toxic self-destruction of this past industrial technological age of militarism and empire and fascism and the retrograde forces that wish to retard the progression of the human race, even beyond the point of our own survival. It is to that primal unity that I like to envision as the one light that I dedicate my life and my work. I have worked through the arts, where others might have other jobs and other talents that they can use to express and appreciate and celebrate the oneness of all life. To that one light above us all, beyond all metaphors and myths, all gods, goddesses, and mythic heroes of the past. To that one light, we must dedicate our every waking moment to save the future. Thank you. Let us not go extinct.